going to play a little demo video in the background. I'm going to talk over it, so that way I have the ability to answer questions, to look at the chat, and we can just have something going in the background. All of this is taken straight from the demo, and then I have a little extra from further in the game before, that's not included in the demo right now. So how about we get it just started here? And again, let me know if you have any questions. Oh, we'll start here with the intro. And that's it. That is the entire backstory for Buggos. Very simple. Basically, you're this sort of adolescent hive mind who wants to go out and get their own place to live, basically. And as you can see here, we're checking out our landing site. And we can see there's a bunch of filthy, dirty human locations all over the globe. And it's our goal to clean it out, and we can make a nice apartment or something. Here we can see the skill tree. This isn't all the skills. This is just what's in the demo right now. We don't have any points, so we're going to have to go destroy some humans to earn some evolution points. And here we got the very first level of the game. Very simple. You'll see it's only got a couple people here with their houses. And this is a good opportunity to see in the bottom left-hand corner the 3 different power-ups. This is one of the few mechanisms you have to interact with the game, which is either you place down attack pins or you're selecting the power-ups that your bugs are currently possessing. So either you increase the amount that spawn, you increase the damage that the bugs can do, or you increase the total amount of nutrients that are available for spawning. You can see here our little buggos are getting swatted just a touch by the civilians, but in this map where there's no spawner, it's basically just a matter of time before we take out the housing, take out all the buildings. Very good. A little bit of bug blood spilt, but not too much of a cost that we're willing to endure as a bug overmine. Lovely, lovely. Good destruction. All right, so we completed the area, not too many casualties. So now we have an evolution point to spend. Again, we kind of start off, you have to get swarmer guidance. And what this does is it makes the swarmers decide to mostly listen to your pins more often. They still have a mind of their own. It's tough being a hive mind. So it's important to get the influences for the various bug types as you get them so that they will listen a little bit better. All right, this is the second map. Not too much going on here, just some walls, a lot more civilians, but nothing of severe danger here. So it looks like this is a pretty easy point pickup that we can get. And so anytime you got a moment and nothing's going to harass you, it's usually a pretty good strategy to just send your bugs to go chew on some stuff. Later on, we can get an upgrade where when you destroy an inanimate object, you get a little bit of nutrients. Bugs can, I don't know, chew up concrete or something. So it's always good if you got some spare time and no one's harassing you to go eat some concrete. It's good for your digestion. Looks like the civilians are fighting back pretty well today. Individually, one-on-one, the civilian will defeat the swarmer, but of course they're called a swarmer for a reason, so get a big clump of them and attack with that, and it's usually pretty good. So we're going to switch to the other upgrade here, or the other power-up I should say, where we'll spawn more at once. Just trying to get enough men on the field to clean up this small location. And as you progress through the story, through the campaign, obviously the maps become a lot more troublesome. The terrain itself is actually quite an issue. As you can see, the bugs are very stupid. They don't do particularly well going around the terrain. The way they operate is they sort of randomly pick an area around them that they can move to, and then it takes note of how much influence you have over them and will generally send them towards the pin. So they're kind of fighting their own base instinct and then combining it with how much influence you have over them. Oh, but you're having a nice little wall chew over here, coming down at the bottom. Just got to finish up these last little things. And you can see kind of how annoying they are. They don't want to go down there just yet. So the more points you can spend in influencing the bugs, the better they will listen to you. And look, they're doing a little dance down there by the pin. That's cute. And then we got a couple guys. So the win condition for all the maps is to kill all the people, destroy all the buildings. Later on, there'll be some more win conditions where you have to goo a bunch of area, and we'll discuss goo in a little bit. Right now, we're not super hivey yet. We don't have the power to goo. We're a growing hive mind. It takes a while to goo. All right, we've conquered this area. So let's go ahead and spend the next point. Again, we've only got one right now, but more influence, always good. We increase the total number of spawns at one time. So if you have a lot of spare nutrients, you can spawn a whole bunch of bugs at once. That's pretty nice. I think we'll pick that. And then looking around, seeing what's most dangerous. Generally, that will guide you in the order that you want to try to defeat the towns, but God help you, you can try to do it in any order you want, you know? No stopping you. All right, so this map introduces a new type of unit. There's a Marine up there in the top right. He's prancing around. And this is our first sort of... Oh, here's a new one. Our sort of danger element. Like, these guys have a longer range shooting attack that can kill the swarmer bugs in one hit. But again, if you can get enough people on them quick enough, it's not too much of a problem. It's when they start coming in a larger number that it gets dangerous. And sometimes if you just go after them one bit at a time, you'll end up drawing the Marine back to your hive, and they'll end up killing you. So you have to be careful about that. We might just leave this guy alone up here. He seems particularly resistant to being murdered, which is fair, I think. So sometimes you just want to build up a nice little swarm, just have them huddle in front of your base for warmth, and then eventually send them out as you wish. Right now I've got the food upgrade going on because I'm trying to produce more and more bugs. Sometimes it's good to switch to the attack upgrade. At the base level, the swarmers do 1 damage, but if you get the attack power up, I shouldn't say upgrade, they'll do +2 more damage. So that's particularly good if you're dealing with things that have high health, or if they have some sort of armor that you have to get around. But overall, this level's not too troublesome. Kind of like the last one, there's not a spawner for the bad guys, or the humans, I should say, in this area. So eventually all damage is permanent, and you should be able to take them out. Yeah, we're chewing on the bottom. Let's go chew up this guy up here. Little zoom in. On the left-hand side, in the bottom left, you'll see a bar, and that bar shows you the total capacity of the number of Buggos you can have at one time. And so if that fills up, obviously no more bugs will spawn. And there's upgrades to increase that cap. So when you start off, the cap's at 100, but as you work your way through the upgrades, it's eventually going to get up to 400. And I've tested it pretty effectively with 400 on 400 combats. And if you have a decent enough computer, there's no problems. But if you're running on a laptop, it might struggle a bit. But that's up to you if you want to let your swarm get that big or not. Alright, so just chewing up these last little Marines, eating their walls. Bugs love walls, very good for digestion. Gonna go ahead and chew it through it. Overall, pretty good. You know, just realizing I don't have my camera on. Don't know how much that'll help you guys get the bug experience, but we can throw that on. Shabam! Let's see. Camera? Do you have camera? Are you in the right spot? No. The camera's feeling ill right now. Alright, well, ignoring the ill camera, we've moved ahead in time. You can see I have 8 evolution points to spend. I didn't want to run the demo all the way through. I want to cut in certain sections of the game. So now we're going to move to a different spot where we've got the opportunity of the builder bug, and it looks like we're going to spend some points on possibly... Are we going to get the defender? We're thinking about it. I don't remember what I did here when I recorded this. Oh, okay, medium spawn size. It's looking like we'll get the defender. Maybe some tearing claws upgrades. Those upgrades on the bottom left are mostly for the swarmy boys. I think, boy, I was really indecisive when I recorded this. Yeah, some swarmy boy upgrades, and then the defender upgrade. Perfect. You gotta love it. All right, and so we're gonna fight the final level of Area 1. Let's see how it goes. So as you can see here, when we put the pins down, we've got 3 different pins now to control. So we've got our builder bugs, we've got our swarmer bugs, and we've got some defenders. Now, each of these bugs have different spawn ratings, so they won't all come out... spawn weightings. They won't all come out in equal numbers. And as you go higher up the tree, in general, the weighting is obviously a lot less. Excuse me. And so that's something you kind of got to build around and think about. And additionally, you also have to have enough nutrients to actually spawn the big boys. So you see we finally spit out a defender bug down there. And that was only able to happen because we had enough nutrients to do so. Because they cost like 50 nutrients by themselves. Let's see. Up here in the top left, what do we got? Oh, we have 2 spawners. So you can see we have 2 spawners in the top right. The humans will will produce out of that, starting once every 20 seconds for the first area, but every area you go through, that time increases, as well as the type of units that can come out of it. So as you progress farther into the game, meaner and meaner boys will come say hello to you to try to defend their homeworld. So that's something to be aware of. If you can destroy a spawner earlier on, obviously that's very helpful, because as you can see, things are just starting to build up in there and it's getting pretty nasty. And well, we might have to start sieging. And that's sort of like the process of leapfrogging our hives forward to try to make progress. You might have seen down the bottom left, it's hard to notice at this time, there's a little bit of goo on the ground. The goo is really good, and that every 4 patches of goo gives you 1 extra nutrient per tick. Now that may not sound like a lot, but the squares aren't very big, and you can put a lot of patches down. And the Buggos will try their best to goo as much as they can. So pretty quickly, like a 10 by 10 square is 100 pieces of land, and divide that by 4. That's a pretty good chunk of nutrients. So highly recommend get your boys gooing. If they aren't building, like let's say I want to put a hive here, and they're too busy gooing, you might want to turn off the nutrient goo you can see on the right hand side there in the build menu, and then they'll refuse to goo at that point, and then theoretically they'll go build the thing you want to build. But again, all the bugs have a mind of their own. They don't want to do anything per se, and it's just the amount of influence that you've upgraded into them that they'll sort of meander towards the pens that you've put down. As you can see, the defender bug here having his marine fight, they're quite valuable. Being the only ranged unit in the bug arsenal, not having to get up close and personal to bite things, it's very useful. And one tactic I've seen a number of playtesters use is they will bank all of their good bugs and hope to try to spawn more and more of them while they keep sending the swarmers up to go die and to sort of hold the line while a big bank of other bugs comes up. And you can see on each of the hives that you build, you can turn off and on spawning for the whole hive. I don't think I want to let people be able to turn off specific types of bugs, but there will be an upgrade that allows you to sort of tune the weighting a little bit. So if you wanted to get generally more defenders, there's an upgrade for that. If you want to get more builders or less builders, you could have that too. But I don't think I want you to be able to turn them all the way off. But who knows, if we get a bunch of feedback that it would be better, it'd feel more fun to do that, then I'm totally for it. All right, we're crunching our way through this level. Looks like we finally beat him. Not too much of a siege, really. I think that will come in the next area. Area 1 should be pretty okay. It shouldn't be too tough. I did tune the difficulty just a little bit before the demo because I thought it was too easy. What will happen... Oh, you can see we switched areas to area 2. What will happen is if the enemy gets to 60% of their max supply cap, they'll actually send a little force to go attack you of about 10% of their current supply. Up there, the warrior bug. It would be really nice to get the warrior bug, but it looks like we're putting points into defender influence. That way they listen better. And what was that? Defender speed? Their legs. It's nice to get the big boys where you want them early. All right, so we're just scooting around looking for a new place to attack. You can also see how many evolution points each area is worth. It's not just a 1-to-1 where you kill one place, you get 1. The more difficult the spot is, the more evolution points it's worth in general. So this is kind of a silly map. I don't know if you saw that, but it's just a bunch of civilians sort of encased in walls and turrets up here. So this is another one where all the damage is permanent. There's no spawner here. So as long as we do any damage on every assault, we're net ahead. Oh, we lost a boy. So start gooing at the beginning of every map. Try to get your builders not shot by the turret up here, and just take up some more space. Gooing early is important, just like most RTSs. You want to have a good economy going. I think I'll have a little pop-up over the goo patches when they tell you that they're giving you nutrients. Currently, you just have to look in the top left, and you can see the current nutrient levels. We're running really shallow right now because of our total spawn capacity for our hive is just pumping out as much as it can anytime there's available nutrients. We got a good selection here of two defender bugs. May not seem like a lot, 3 defender bugs, but even just these 3 can really help push through a defensive line. And if you were being particularly crafty, you again would bank them in the back for a time, and then you'd have a huge group of them for an assault. So since the defenders are slow, I usually send them up first because they take forever to get anywhere, especially if you don't have any influence for them. Although it looks like I got bored and I was like, all right, send in all of the boys. And that's okay. Oh yeah, we're at max supply cap right now, so you might as well send in your friends to go fight for you. Chewing through the walls. We got the attack upgrade on. It is kind of funny that the bugs can stack on top of each other. You'd be like, oh man, that one bug is going crazy. But then after they kill something, they'll split up into 20. You're like, oh, I see. They're all just swarming on top of each other. Well, very good. We've got our builders down there in the bottom, not doing too much. So make sure to move your pens around. They will try to move to the pens. Sometimes they can get stuck in the bottom if you left it there. Their priorities are to try to build something first, then they'll try to goo, and then they'll try to make a random move. And look at our defender bugs are coming in nice. Getting some good attacks in. This is just a simple matter of cleanup at this point. Free evolution points, as I call it. You know, you gotta love it. These last two turrets giving a little trouble, but not too much. And splatting some civilians. They seem to be very calm about the whole process. Getting acid sprayed on their face, not running. They're milling about even, like they were to get in line for it. So that's not too bad. Again, if you have any questions, please type it in the chitty chat. More than happy to answer anything you've got. All right. This is a part I'm thinking about maybe speeding up. Like once you've successfully sort of quelled the rabble of the humans that are on here, there is a touch of cleanup you have to do for each level. It's not too much. Maybe go get a soda or something, but you do got to clear up all these buildings for the win con. So I might change the win con just a little bit to maybe clearing up only the spawners if they exist. And get those little bugs. Yeah, look at them go. This is a really good game, and the reason I built it is for if you don't really want to do all of the microing of an RTS, you just like making decisions about sort of tech tree stuff, you just like generally commanding people where to go, that's why I built this game. As you saw there, I skipped ahead to the future. We're in the third area. Again, this isn't in the demo, but I did want to show you the next zone. I wanted to show you a higher level game with a lot more evolution points in it. Dude Goblin. Can you only build a spawner, or are there other buildings as well? So right now, it's you can build the spawner, you can build the hive, and you can also build nutrient pustules. And those are particularly good if you've sort of like gotten cramped into a space and you're being assaulted, where like you can't goo the whole map yet. And so you could build some pustules behind you. Maybe I'll open up the menu in the demo here, and you'll see it. There's also going to be turrets and towers that you'll be able to build. They're called acid flingers, as well as pit traps. They're living monster traps, like a trapdoor spider, where if any enemy walks over it, it closes on them and does an insane amount of damage. And they're invisible until that happens. So I've got that all programmed in. It's just not available to be built right now for the demo, but there's going to be a total of, I think, 8 different buildings. You'll be able to build walls, and that'll be more important for the wave survival aspect of the game. That will come after I get the demo or the campaign all completed. Yeah, expect to have another game mode that's not the campaign here as you're seeing it, where you're sort of sitting in the middle of the map, and wave after wave after wave of humans are going to try to get you, and every wave you defeat, you'll get some evolution points to spend. And that's when I think the building aspect will be a little bit more a part of the game. Because right now it's really attacky. So just building up a nice little swarm here. Oh, as you can see, we've got some pink boys. These are the warrior bugs. Very high health, very high armor, and they're quick, which is really nice. So they do really well on a frontline assault against not heavy damage units. So I don't know if we're going to spawn a tank for the enemy here. That is the big bug's only worry. If they have a tank, they can get one shot by it. But otherwise, they're a really good forward-facing unit. You can also see there's some new towers here for the enemy. That's a Tesla tower. If we get too close to it, it will zap at an astounding rate. It's very good against anything that has low health and low armor. Also, we saw flamethrower guys back there. They're very dangerous for the swarmers. So this is an instance where I'm really building up until I've got my full swarm capacity, and then we will do an attack. Because this is one of the problems, is if you open up the walls, they can start sending attacks after you. So sometimes you just want to wait a little bit. Oh, they're having a little cheeky fight in between the wall there. That was funny. We won, which is good. And as you can see here, we also have the upgrade for when we chew on walls and eat them, it's giving us +3 nutrients per wall we've eaten. Now, it's not like obviously a permanent +3, like you get it one time. So it's really good for ramping early on, but once you've eaten something, you can't eat it again. All right, we've got a really good charge going on. Our Buggos are bravely going in. We're resupplying slowly from behind. Yeah, as you can see, that warrior bug's tanking a bunch of shots for the swarmers so they can get in there. We've got the attack power-up going right now, so that way we can do a little bit of extra damage. But that flamethrower man is in a really good position to just wipe out the swarmers. One hit from the flame takes out one of the swarmy boys. The big warrior bugs can stand in it for a little bit. That is a lot of bug boy. So this is an opportunity right here to put a new hive down. You see the builders are going to generally try to go for it. Make sure your pin is next to something you want them to build, and if you really want them to get there in a hurry, turn off gooing, because that's they're want to goo. And the reason we want to do this is just like in any battle, you're trying to get your supply lines as short as possible, which means bringing our spawners as close to the front as we can. There's quite a few Marines here shooting our stuff up. Hopefully we can get the hive built. We need some more of our builders to come in here to finish it. Oh, there's one. It takes 20 builders to complete a hive at this point. I'm still working on tuning that, seeing what feels right. Just need a couple more. And as soon as we get it, we've got plenty of nutrients, as you can see in the top left. You'll be able to immediately produce a whole squadron of little bugs to help us attack. But this is the problem. Bugs are slow, bugs are stupid. So you really got to get the front line if you can. The good news is our goo is spreading, our economy is increasing this whole time, so we're not losing anything by having opened up the front door. Oh, look at this, a big old squad. Oh, yes! All right, the hive's done. You can see everything spewed out of it. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn off this back hive so we don't have to have them walk. Trying to get them to walk around terrain is the bane of your existence. Perfect, perfect. Oh, there's some tanks up here. So you can see the enemy's got, looks like 4 tanks. They got some Tesla turrets we have to break through. This is a real siege. Might have to build another hive to double our production ability. And if you can imagine also being able to place little towers down here to really secure the line, being able to put some ground attacking invisible booby traps, that would also be swell. So that's coming soon. Maybe we can break through here. And please, any other questions, go ahead and toss them in. This is what I like. I like sitting here. I like watching the little guys run around. I don't know why. It's just very, very pleasing to me. To not have to tell everything and right-click it into the enemy base and aim move constantly. If you like watching ant terrariums, if you like auto battlers, I find this game very fun. I think we're making some small progress. Did we destroy one of the Tesla towers? There's a couple little niceties I have to get into the game, which is having destructible debris underneath all of the buildings. Coming soon to a bug near you. Will there be a multiplayer PvE, PvP aspect of the game? I don't think so. I think it's just going to be a very nice standalone single-player game. As you know, I've already got a different multiplayer game that I have to keep working. I think one's enough for me. That's a good question, though. It's a lot of work integrating multiplayer. It's a lot of checking you have to do, especially in something that would be competitive. Although who knows, maybe if I do a second version of the game, Because all of the core aspects would work for the humans too, where someone could be the human and someone could be the bug. Or bug on bug violence. You could always have that. So maybe. Not planned for now, but maybe in the future that could be kind of... Now that you've got me thinking about it, that could be interesting. Oh, anyways, we've blasted through the front line a little bit. Moving forward, you see the creep has gone forward with us. You can get an upgrade for your builders where they have a 25% chance to goo on death. So if you just send them straight in, they can tank a shot from a tank or from a marine, and they may just put goo down. So you're increasing your economy. There's lots of bug blood. It's such a lovely state to be in. And then slowly pushing forward, you see we've got a hive ghost down on the ground on the left side there. Boom, new hive, new reinforcements right in the battle. You gotta love it. I can't wait to see the guides on this game. This is the most OP build for your tech tree. Yeah. Well, especially if you're into games like Path of Exile, where they've got the 1,000-point tech tree. That's kind of inspired by that, honestly. Although that's a lot of work to make something quite so large. All right, so at this point, we're just doing cleanup detail, trying to rip through all of the last buildings, and then we'll get some sweet evolution points to spend. That will be lovely. Oh, he's getting tickled. You see the warrior bug got tickled to death by the Tesla turret. And it is zapping away. As you can see, it's really good against swarmers. But yeah, see, it locked onto a warrior there, and he can tank it for quite some time. Some good chewing, and then just a little bit of this last part of the building. And there we go, we got it. So we lost 1,600 people. Oh, and that's all I've got for the demo. So yeah, hopefully you guys got a good idea of what the game's about, what's happening with it, where the game is going to go. So we saw the first 2 areas, and then one section of the third area, excuse me. And there's going to be 3 other areas, each increasing the number of bugs you have, the danger of the enemies, all of that good stuff. I'm not a huge fan of RTS games because of how complicated they are to me, but this is an amazing game to ease me into it. I love the parts of the demo I played so far. Awesome! Well, thank you so much. Yeah, if you're old or lazy, like me in both of those situations, that's why I built this game. Sort of got tired of having to be manually dexterous, so it was nice to just to set the pens and forget and just sort of watch it happen.